Seahawks Today is sponsored by Mint Mobile. Plans starting at just $15 a month on America's largest 5G network. And with Mint Mobile, they offer some great deals, whether you are in a situation where you want to find yourself trying to use 4G or 5G. They're going to make it seamless for you to be able to transition between the two of them. And you can sign up now at mintmobile.com/chatsports to start saving today. Plans starting at just $15 a month. Actor Ryan Reynolds, he's got you covered. Check him out, mintmobile.com/chatsports. Seahawks Today, powered by Chat Sports. I am your fearless leader, Tyler Jones, here with you. So glad to have you with us as we preview the Seahawks matchup with the Atlanta Falcons. The Seahawks trying to pick up their second win of 2022. And we are in the midst of a sub-battle with the Atlanta Falcons channel here at Chat Sports. And we've picked up about 289 subs in the last few days. Falcons picked up 108. We want to beat the Falcons channel, not only on the field, but off the field as well. Want to show why the 12s are the best fans on earth. It's because you support your team not only at the stadium, but online and off the field as well. So let's win this now. Subscribe so you never miss a moment of Seahawks Today, youtube.com/Seahawks TV, and take it to the Falcons. The Seahawks and the Falcons this weekend come in with a 1-1 record for Seattle, an 0-2 record for the Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons lost a heartbreaker to the New Orleans Saints week 1, and then week 2 got beat by a very good Los Angeles Rams team. Seahawks, meanwhile, week 1, won a very emotional game against Russell Wilson and the Denver Broncos. And then in week 2, the Seahawks lost to the San Francisco 49ers on the road, a game that did not go very well. Heading into this weekend's matchup, the Seahawks are about a 1-point favorite. The over-under is at 42. So at this point, the game is basically a pick'em pretty much with that 1-point line with Seattle favored. And what do you know? Who are you going to pick for this one? Let's get the crystal balls out now. Predict the score for me between the Seahawks and the Falcons. How does this game play out? Predict the score for this one. Do you have Seattle winning and obviously covering this game? If they win, they cover. Let me know in the comments section. Predict the score. Do the Seahawks pull it off? Do the Falcons pull it off? Let me know in the comments section below. So the injury report for the Seahawks heading into Sunday, you have a lot of guys that are questionable. Justin Coleman, Artie Burns, Shelby Harris, Joey Blount, and Damien Lewis. All the guys could play. They could be out with that questionable mark, obviously. What's intriguing of that injury report is that cornerback spot with Coleman and Burns specifically. If both those guys are out, then the young corners, the likes of Kobe Bryant and Tariq Woolen, will have their names called upon, and they're going to have to really step up and play well at those cornerback spots and grow up pretty fast. The other ones are more replaceable, but being without two corners potentially could really hurt this Seahawks team. So we'll see. We'll continue to monitor that injury report situation here on Seahawks Today. If you want to see your Seahawks get a win against the Atlanta Falcons on Sunday, don't jinx it by any means. Like today's video if you think the Seahawks will get it done. Let's send some good vibes, get some good mojo going for your Seattle Seahawks team. So go ahead and like today's video if you think we're going to see a Seattle Seahawks win on Sunday against Atlanta. Look, Atlanta's one of the worst teams in the league. The Seahawks better win this weekend, okay? Let's get the ball rolling on a good note here. Like today's video. Now, time for my keys to victory for your Seattle Seahawks. And for me, it all starts with DK Metcalf and the downfield passing game. And for Seattle, they have not gotten DK Metcalf involved a whole lot through these first couple games at this point. 7 receptions, 71 yards. That's not a single game stat. No, that's through 2 games at this point for DK Metcalf. The Seattle offense just has not gotten him involved like they should. And, you know, it's twofold. It's game planning, but also they need Geno Smith to push the football downfield more to find DK Metcalf. Here's what Pete Carroll had to say on getting DK Metcalf more involved. Just got to make sure that the ball is going to DK down the field. We gave him a shot, and he makes a great play. We've got to make sure that the tight ends are involved in getting the ball more. We know that they can play, and we love the heck out of them. We've got to make sure that that's more of the attack. We have it. It just hasn't really shown up. And so that's the plan going forward for this Seattle team. You're paying DK Metcalf a lot of money. And I think when you looked at this Seahawks team moving on from Russell Wilson, what you were hoping for was that the next quarterback would be able to say, look, you got DK Metcalf, you got Tyler Lockett, they're going to be okay. That's what you were hoping for. And so far to this point, Geno Smith just hasn't gotten DK Metcalf involved. Now, here's the thing. You may be one of those that sits here and says, look, I don't want Geno Smith throwing the football that much. And I understand if you're coming from that. But I think we can all agree that DK Metcalf has got to get the football more. Whether you want Geno to throw it more or not, even if he threw the same amount of passes, more of those need to go to DK Metcalf. So, will DK Metcalf have a breakout game this Sunday? Let me know in the comments section. Type Y for yes, type in for no if we'll see a breakout game from DK. You want to join our watch party coming up on Sunday as we will be reacting to the game in real time. Going to do a little pregame show and a postgame show afterwards right here on the channel. We had so much fun last week. We're going to do it all again, and we'll be doing it all season long here on Seahawks Today for our watch party against the Falcons. Whether you can watch the game or not, let us be your second screen experience. Get involved in the chat. Turn up the volume. Have a great time. Join us on Seahawks Today Live for the Seahawks and Falcons watch party right here on the channel. Be a real one and subscribe now so you can join us coming up on Sunday. Coverage begins at 4:10 Eastern, 1:10 Pacific, right here on Seahawks Today for the Seahawks and the Falcons. Number 2 in my keys to the game, you got to win at the line of scrimmage. And for me, it was so bad last week for Seattle, not only on the offensive line, but the defensive line as well. And I know it's kind of limited what numbers we have to point to, but thankfully there are nerds at Pro Football Focus that put together these numbers and prove our points and fit our narratives of what we're talking about here. Here's what I'm looking at with the offensive line. Last week, Charles Cross, Austin, Phil, Gabe, Abraham, all those guys, the numbers just sucked. It wasn't good. And then the defensive line, the numbers were even worse. Shelby Harris, 64.3. Brian, 61. Al had a 58.3. Poona Ford, 41.7. And Quentin Jefferson, yes, his number was a 39.6. I don't know if I've ever seen a PFF number lower than 40. I mean, it wasn't good. They have to win in the trenches. You have to win on the offensive and defensive line just to even give yourselves a shot. What happened last week against San Francisco cannot happen again. Got to do better than that than what we saw from Seattle. Today's show is sponsored by Mint Mobile, the wireless company owned by actor Ryan Reynolds. And with Mint Mobile, you're going to be saving a lot of money. Plans starting at just $15 a month. Even your mother might ask you to stop calling so much. And with Mint Mobile, check this out. Whether you're in a place that's got 5G or 4G is your best coverage, you don't have to worry about turning airplane mode on and off. What Mint Mobile is going to do is it will automatically detect where your best cell phone coverage is, what it is, and it's all in one place. MintMobile.com/chatsports. Start saving today. Plans starting at just $15 a month. It's a great deal. You got to sign up now and start saving today. MintMobile.com/chatsports. Couple more for you. Let's look at more keys to the game here. Got to establish the run. The run game so far this season, we mentioned how much the offensive line struggled, and the numbers show for that in the run game. This Seahawks team has to run the football well, and through the last couple of weeks, we haven't seen the run game play well at all. Rashaad Penny was held at 60 yards against Denver, and Geno Smith and Travis Homer didn't do much running the football either. And then in the San Francisco game, the numbers were even worse. Penny and Walker held to 10 to 15 yards. Travis Homer with 2 carries for 9 yards. Geno Smith with 2 carries for 2 yards. You have to run the football well. In order for this Seahawks offense to work with what Pete Carroll and Shane Waldron want to do, you have to run the football, and you have to run the football well. And right now, the run game just simply isn't there for this team. Got to get better when it comes to run the football. Establish that run to open up the play-action passing game. Number 4, the Seahawks need to win the turnover battle. And I know that kind of goes without saying. You could probably apply that to about every game. But the numbers for the Seahawks, here's what has gone on the last few games for the Seahawks. The statistics, they were able to win the turnover battle against Denver. And then last week against San Francisco, they did not force a single turnover. You had the blocked field goal, but that technically doesn't count as a turnover. But here's the stats. So far, the Seahawks have lost 2 fumbles. They've forced 2. And they've thrown 2 interceptions. One of those, the halfback pass play, then another of those from Geno Smith. You got to protect the football, and you got to force some turnovers too. Works both ways. Seattle has to win that turnover battle against Atlanta here. Who's a player that needs to step up this week for the Seattle Seahawks? Let me know in the comments section. Who is somebody that hasn't played well the last couple of weeks that needs to step up for the Seahawks? Let me know in the comments section a name that comes to mind. Last one in my keys to victory for the Seahawks is starting fast. And here's what I would point to as far as starting fast. If you look at what happened last week in the first half for the Atlanta Falcons, they were outscored by the Rams 21-3. And the Seahawks were outscored 20-0 by San Francisco. So that tells me that both teams have been on the wrong end of their opponents starting fast. So if I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay then, well, Seattle, punch Atlanta in the mouth early. And also don't get punched in the mouth right away. Establish the way this game is going to go. Take control of the football game from the beginning. Start fast and set the tone early for a Seahawks victory. So before we go, here are my keys to the game one more time. Throw the ball to DK Metcalf downfield. Win at the line of scrimmage. Establish the run. Win the turnover battle and start fast. They do those things, the Seahawks will be in great shape, and they will win. My pick, I think it's going to be a little bit of a low-scoring game, but I have the Seahawks getting it done. 21-17, the Seahawks say hello to the win column for the second time in 2022. We appreciate you joining us here on Seahawks Today. If you made it to the end of today's video, spam Real One in the chat, because this show is only possible because of you, the real ones. And we will see you next time here on Seahawks Today.